Where's my, okay, it is recording. All right. Well, I know that we may see some additional team members join as we get into the session, but just knowing that we're going to be hearing from two of our partners, I'd like to go ahead and get started. Yes, Colleen, I'll be happy to share a copy of the presentation with you after, so not to worry there. And I am excited to introduce Letty Quinn. She is with MiraCosta College, which is one of our community college partners in California. And I'm also really excited that we have Nancy Solis as well as Colleen. Colleen, remind me of your last name. I'm so sorry.
My last name is Manthe, Colleen Manthe.
Okay, perfect. And Colleen Manfi, they are here from CSU San Marcos, one of our four-year undergraduate and graduate institutions. And we're really excited since we just signed a new tie-up with MiraCosta College, not only just for the, associate programs as well as the ESL or English Language Institute offerings that they have, but they also have a really strong 2+2 pathway with Cal State Cal State San Marcos. So that's why we decided to do the joint. That way we could talk a little bit about what that pathway looks like and what those programs are and things like that. So um, I'm going to go on mute and take notes in addition to my own note taker and the recording. But Letty, I will let you take it from here to talk a bit about MiraCosta first.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Rachel. Let me go ahead and just share my screen because I have a PowerPoint, as all presentations are required. Have one. Share. All right. First of all, welcome, GB. It is so nice to meet some of you. As Rachel just said, we just signed our agreement in the last few weeks. So moving right along to training, I'm glad that we're really getting off on a quick start. And you can see in this picture, this is one of our brand new buildings. It's our library, our learning commons. It's gorgeous. Everything is state of the art. We received a bond a few years ago, so we have a lot of new buildings for our students to enjoy. I don't know what happened. Why did it went ahead? All right, so our agenda, we want you to get to know us a little bit better. What kinds of programs we have, as Rachel mentioned, the transfer pathway, as well as some financial resources. And then this little quick resource is we do have an e-brochure for international students, and that is a resource that you can use to just pull up on your screen when you're speaking with your students, as well as our international office website. We do have some international alumni videos where they are talking in an extended time about their experience at MiraCosta. I wish we had time to kind of watch some of them today, but you can do that later. And we also have an English Language Institute on our campus as well. So our International Student Club is pretty active. And so this photo of them bowling, we do a lot of collaborative events together, is one of their outings in the last year. And so who are we? So my name is Letty Quinn. I'm Student Services Coordinator here in the International Office. And so I work on recruiting international students. And I also run our outbound study abroad program, so sending our students to some of your countries. Sayaka Tachibana is our DSO. She's our Student Services Coordinator. She is amazing. And she's been in our office for, I think, over 20 years. So she has a really strong knowledge of our campus, working with international students. She herself was an international student from Japan, and she speaks Japanese. So she is the person who has like gifts from students at the end of the year. They love her so much. She has a really great relationship with all of our international students. And so they're always dropping in and just updating her on their life or just coming by even after they graduated. So she is really such an asset on our team. And then Renee Chong, who is also here with us, and she'll be presenting with me. So yeah, and she speaks Vietnamese as well. So this is really helpful in us recruiting Vietnamese students, which is one of our top spending countries. And then Kathy Rodriguez is our big boss. She's our director and admissions and records, and she's also a registrar, and she's our PDSO. That is us, the small but mighty team. So advantages of MiraCosta. We are a community college in North County, San Diego. We are about 10 minutes from the beach. There is public transportation to the beach. You can see all our lovely international students at the beach. We have great weather year round. And in Southern California, I don't need to sell you on it. It sells itself. So we're just going to focus on our school right now. But we are North County, San Diego. There is public transportation. You can take the train into downtown San Diego, and we're about 123 kilometers south of LA. So we do have a lot of students who can also take the train right up to LA as well. So why do international students come to us? Because we have a really great transfer pathway. In Southern California, we're the #1 community college to transfer to the UC system. We have sent many students to UCLA, UC Berkeley, UC San Diego, and we also have agreements that I'll talk about in a couple slides. And we also have a 2+2 agreement with CSU San Marcos, which is why we're presenting today. So some other highlights. We have dedicated international student academic counselors. So we have 2 of them in our office. And so they are very aware of the international student F1 regulations. And so they are able to provide that specific academic counseling for our students. We have affordable tuition, a fraction of the cost attending university, and we'll get into those tuition and fees in a moment. We do not have any prospective student scholarships. However, students are eligible for about 90% of our internal scholarships. And we try to make it very easy, where we have a new database where students will fill out a profile, fill out about 4 questions, and then the system will match them to the scholarships that they're eligible for. So our goal is really to increase access and scholarship funding for students. So we try to make that as easy as possible. We do advertise external scholarships, and we have had students receive, for example, like 2,500 from the Language Cert Scholarship recently. So whenever we have those, we will share them with students. We have free tutoring on our campus, and that tutoring and writing center will also help students with their scholarship essays as well. So they can go in and level up their chances of getting some of that funding. We have small class sizes. We have probably, I think, usually a max of 30 students in a class. So that's really great for building relationships with peers and with professors. We really have a strong culture of care on our campus. I started here about 1.5 years ago, and I was very surprised. I came from San Diego State, which is a massive public institution, and I came here and everyone is smiling all the time and people know your name, and it's a very different experience. And I think it's really great when international students come here and they're getting that attention right away. Not just Americans, all students. So that is an asset on our campus. We also have a food pantry. This is really nice. We also have one of our brand new buildings is a student welcome center. And within that, it's meant to be a one-stop shop, so students don't get bounced around all over campus. And in that welcome center, we have the food pantry, which looks just like a brand new grocery store. We have contracts with some of our local grocery stores. And so every day, every single student can go in and get 6 food items. It's really, really nice. So that can help offset some of those food costs. We also have academic and personal counseling. Students can do CPT, OPT, as well as have on-campus jobs with other students. And we have state-of-the-art facilities. So we have that new welcome center. We've got media arts. We have a new biotech and chemistry building. We have a new kinesiology and nursing center. And I will send you all videos so you can see how beautiful they are. And so what can students study? We have over 70 options for academic majors, and they're kind of split into 6 areas. So we have business and technology. Business is one of our most popular majors for international students. We have one of the first artificial intelligence certificates and associate's degrees, as well as cybersecurity. You can see we have supply chain management, regular management, entrepreneurship. These are all very popular. We have a lot of students that take the math and science pathway as well. So our institution was one of the pilot community colleges to start testing out bachelor's degree programs. So we've just had about 7 cohorts of this BA in biomanufacturing. So students would come in, they would do their associate's degree and then apply to complete. the BA, which comes with a guaranteed internship with one of our biotech companies up here in North County, San Diego. So that's our one bachelor's program. Also, we have computer science and data science are also pretty popular. In our social behavior sciences section, psychology is one of our top majors for our international students. And then you can also see a creative and applied arts. And so with that new building comes all the top of the line technology, which is really nice, especially for the media arts. For health sciences, we do have a nursing program, but that one is the one program that runs a little bit differently. So students would come in, they would apply usually in the math and sciences liberal arts pathway, and then take their prerequisites, and then they would have to apply to the nursing program directly. I know we have a lot of interest from international students with our nursing program, but it is highly competitive and there's no guarantee. So we just want to be very transparent about that particular program. And then in our languages, humanities, and communication area, as you can see, we have a number of different degrees as well. All of these transfer to these to four-year universities. So one thing that's really nice is we have transfer guarantee programs. These are tag programs. So there are 6 UC schools that offer guaranteed admission. The requirements vary a little bit depending on the institution, but our international counselors are really, really very aware of those requirements, in particular how they affect international students. And so they can walk them through that process. We are the #1 transfer. We are the #1 community college in Southern California with the transfer rate to the UC system. So, and it's not just these 6 schools, it's also to UCLA, to UC Berkeley. So we have a number of students that take this pathway. Also, we have our new 2+2 international transfer pathway with CSU San Marcos. So this is where if a student applies to MiraCosta, they can also get a conditional letter of admission to CSU San Marcos as well. So that potentially could help them with their F1 visa approval, especially these days. The visa process is getting a little more difficult, so we just want to be able to help students as much as possible. So this would be completing the associate's degree at MiraCosta and then transferring as a 3rd year into CSU San Marcos. Our campuses are really close. We're only about 13 kilometers apart from each other, and CSU San Marcos in the spring, they have a fantastic international day. So we will bring our students to San Marcos to do a tour and also to participate in this event. And we're in the process of planning more collaborative events as well. So potentially doing some orientations together or activities after orientation together to kind of increase retention and help international students find other international students in the community outside of only our college. So this link right here, the CSU SM link, will go into more detail about what that entails. So you would just let us know if you are interested in that pathway, and we'll get you that conditional letter for your student. So now that I've sold you on how amazing our campus is, how much is it to come here? This is our estimated cost of attendance for this next academic year. As you can see, for 2 semesters, it is less than $10,000. So it is pretty hard to beat that price for higher education in the US. So come to us and save money. So this is based on our non-resident fee. Living expenses, we are suggesting a little less than $16,000. Medical insurance is, you can see, $1,600. Books and supplies about $1,000. I will say that on our campus, there is a goal for students to not have to pay for textbooks. So professors, they have a special zero-cost textbook program that many of them use to try to save students money. So we're trying to do as much as we can to help students access education. So our total that we would need for financial documents is $28,500 for the year. Unfortunately, we don't have any on-campus housing options. Most community colleges do not. I think there's just a small handful in the country that do. However, we do have a long-term partnership with Futures Abroad. They offer homestays and shared apartments. So you can see here's a quick breakdown of what that cost might be. A lot of our international students will come and they'll do the homestay for the first semester. And then as they find friends, as they learn about the area and kind of where they would want to live, will often then move into another apartment or find a roommate. So the homestay is a nice kind of transitional opportunity for students. Plus, you can have one with meals, which is nice. I have had a lot of friends that have done homestays, and it's really nice because it's a nice way to get connected into a new culture, especially if they're cooking with you every day. As you're kind of learning how to navigate life here. All right, so our application documents, Renee is our student service specialist, and she is the one who deals with all this. So I'm going to let her take over and walk you through this.
Thank you, Letty. As Letty mentioned earlier, my name is Renee Chung. I am the Student Services Specialist for the International Office. I am the most of the time, about 90% of the time, the first contact with students and agents in receiving application documents. I also am the one that is reviewing the documents, making sure we have everything that we require to proceed with the application process. So with the application documents, as you can see, we have two semesters, the fall semester and the spring semester, and our priority registration deadline for fall is July 1st and then spring November 15th. Um, while those are not hard deadlines, we will work with students on a case-by-case circumstance if students are applying after those deadlines. But we want to make sure to be able for students to enroll in all the classes that they need that we apply by the priority deadline so students can get enrolled in classes. So the first application document that we're going to need is the Student International application form. That form is a digital Adobe form. Students can just fill it out and then e-sign it. Once it has been submitted, it'll be sent electronically to our office. The student will also get a copy. There is a portion on that form where the student can list the agent as a way for us to be able to tag the agent into the application process as well. The second document we would need is a copy of their passport, the student's passport. The third document is the financial support document. So we have an affidavit form that the student would need to sign along with their sponsor. We would need their information on there. And then as Letty mentioned earlier, we do need a official bank statement showing a minimum of the 28,500 to show that they are able to attend MiraCosta College. Uh, the next thing we would need is a copy of transcripts. So depending on what the student has completed, if they've only completed a high school or secondary education, then we would just need a copy of that transcript along with the official certificate or diploma of graduation. If the student has completed a bachelor's degree or a master's degree in their home country or in the US, we do not need a copy of their high school transcripts, just their college or university transcripts along with the certificate of graduation. Finally, we do request proof of English proficiency. We take a multitude of tests, but our most popular ones are the TOEFL, IELTS, and Duolingo tests. We have a lot more tests that we accept listed on our website, so you can definitely take a look there. And then I'd like to mention we don't have any application fees. It's a $0 application fee, nor do we take any I-20 deposit fees. So we don't charge the student anything to be able to apply to our college.
Awesome. Quick question for you, Renee. I know you mentioned that within the application form, there's a place for our students to note that they're working with LeapGB as their agent. But if a student is interested in that conditional admit at the 2+2 pathway, how do we denote that to you all? Is that I can certainly reach out on behalf of our teams to the email address you have provided here, or is there a way to designate that within the application itself?
That's a good question. I would probably say On the application, there is a line where it's asking for their major. They can list their major there and then also list that they're interested in the 2+2.
Okay,
And then we can go ahead and just get that squared away for them.
perfect. Okay, great to know. Thank you.
Mhm. And then next slide, please.
Sorry, just one thing I want to mention really quickly. We do allow international students to take online courses. So let's say their visa is delayed, they can go ahead and start online with us as they're awaiting to come as well. So not all community colleges do that, but we do. So informative.
Awesome.
Alrighty. And so how long does it take from applying to an I-20 to be issued? So once the student submits a complete application packet, it takes us about 4 to 6 business days to review the application packet and then issue an acceptance letter. I do want to note that we are pretty much a guaranteed acceptance school. We accept all students, so we don't really have any like denial rate or anything like that. It's pretty much a 100% acceptance rate. And then so from when the student receives their acceptance letter, they have to submit what's called an intent to enroll, letting us know that they are choosing to continue to their education with MiraCosta College. And then once we receive that intent to enroll form, it'll take another 4 to 6 business days for us to issue their I-20. I-20s are issued via email directly to the student, and they can just print that out and then sign and then go ahead and proceed with their visa application process.
Awesome. And then is the student going to receive their acceptance letter via email as well, or are they going to log back into the application?
Nope, it's all going to be via email. So once we send out the acceptance letter, we will go ahead and CC the agent on it so that they also are notified. The I-20, though, will just be sent to the student directly.
Perfect.
Yeah. Hand it back to Letty.
And we say 4 to 6 business days to give ourselves some cushion time, but honestly, Renee is just a master. It usually gets them done sooner than that. However, did you want to talk about our peak times and it could potentially the priority?
Yeah, so this is kind of the cushion that we give students and agents to let them know approximately how long it would take. However, we do have peak times. For example, currently right now, we do have students applying for spring of 26 and potentially fall of 26. However, we do let students and agents know that during this time, the application process might take a little bit longer, maybe 1 to 2 weeks longer, just because we're prioritizing for fall 25. But we do let the student and the agents know that we have received the application, we are in the process of reviewing it, and that we will get back to them as soon as we're able to once we're done, processing the applications for our upcoming semester. So that peak time was usually for fall semester a month before. So for our fall semester, it would be in July, which is currently. And then for spring semester, it's around like November, December-ish.
And so this is a little bit of our timeline. These are the priority application deadlines. As Renee said, they're pretty much rolling in missions. So, however, in our campus, international students do receive priority registration. So they're kind of in the second group. And so that usually starts early May. So pretty much the earlier a student applies, the earlier they can register in their classes. And we get orientation usually the week before classes start. We are on a semester system. So we start August 18th this fall. And then in the spring, our priority application deadline is November 15th. And then the earliest class registration is early October. So again, our international students are in priority registration kind of bucket. So our campus understands that international students really need in-person classes. And so that's why they're giving them kind of early registration.
Mm.
And then we also have an orientation in January as well. And then we start January 20th for our spring semester. To connect with us. You can connect with us through email. We are on WhatsApp. You can give us a call. This is our website, our address, and then also our Instagram. which is usually run by our student ambassadors. So this year, we actually are going to have a brand spanking new team of international students working. We do hire international students in our office. And so we are going to be creating more of an outreach program so prospective students can talk directly with them and get that student perspective as much as they want to talk to us. The international students are a great resource for their experience. And we are also rolling out a new newsletter for agents. And so we will be able to continually provide you with updates and little tidbits about what's going on our campus so you can become more familiar with us as time goes on and we're not just dumping a bunch of information and then disappearing.
Yeah, awesome. Awesome. And just a question that came up from Divya in the chat. Thinking back to application requirements, Renee, I know you mentioned that our applicants will need to submit the application form and then provide copies of their transcripts, but will they need to provide anything like an SOP or LORs, resume, anything like that?
No, we no longer require any of those documents. So whatever we went over, whatever was listed as those 5 documents are all that we require for application purposes. And yes, we do accept the PTE English tests.
Perfect. Oh, thank you.
And so here is a link to our website. And here you can see proof of English proficiency. We do accept a number of these exams. And we also have other ways that you can prove your English proficiency if English is your official language, or if you've been in an English program, an English language program, we would accept that as well. So if a student still needs to take an exam for some of these, like language cert or Oxford English language level test, we do have waiver codes so that we would be willing to share those with you to share with your students.
All right.
And
I think that might be our nice segue to kick it over to CSU San Marcos. Maybe Nancy, Colleen.
Yes, they asked a question about financials in the chat. I don't know if you want to answer that before.
Oh, yeah. Thanks for catching
Yeah,
that.
I can go ahead and answer that. So yes, at the time of application, we do require the financial document, so either a bank statement or a bank letter. And we do ask that it is dated within the past within 5 months of the application being submitted.
Wonderful.
Mm. Oh, I think Colleen, your mic is off.
Okay, there we go. Hello, everyone. My name is Colleen Manthe. I'm the Director of International Admissions here at California State University, San Marcos. I have the pleasure of introducing one of our international admission advisors, Nancy Solis, and she will give your presentation today for this pathway for MiraCosta College. We also have 2 other colleagues in our office. We have Jenny Cardinal, another international admissions advisor, and our administrative assistant, which is Ariana Knoll. Nancy and Ari and Jenny are our first point of contacts for all of our applications that do come into the office. Our office is under the umbrella of what's called Global Programs and Services. We have a PDSO, Danielle McMartin, and Yvette, who is our DSO, and then several student assistants, and that are international students. They're our ambassadors, and they're so important to our office to keep everything moving nicely. Our office covers all incoming F1 and J1 direct admits to the university from freshman to transfer. We handle all the graduate programs as well. So that entire intake and admission offer letters come directly from our office. And also we handle the conditional admission for our American Language and Culture Institute, which it offers our conditional admission to the university and help those students, which we'll talk about in just a little bit, about our university access pathway. Okay, Nancy, go ahead and take it away.
Hi, everyone. Again, my name is Nancy Solis. I am the International Admissions Advisor here at Cal State San Marcos. Thank you so much for joining us. And again, this is going to cover mostly the undergraduate programs. So if you have any questions, just let me know. Okay, so where is Cal State San Marcos? So we are located in the city of San Marcos, called or known as the Valley of Discovery. Um, Southern California, just like MiraCosta. Beautiful weather because it's really nice outside right now, like high 70s, really warm, really good weather. And we are really close to San Diego as well as Los Angeles, about 2-hour drive or so. In California, in the US, we measure things by time, not by kilometers or miles. But it's like around 2-hour drive, like a half an hour to 45-minute drive to downtown San Diego. We are really close to the beach. Like Letty mentioned, we are really close to MiraCosta, and MiraCosta is close to our beach in Oceanside. But we are really close to also our different beaches in the coastal area of Southern California, as well as different attractions that we're very close to, such as like Disneyland, Legoland, the Wild Animal Park, the San Diego Safari Park, which is right next door to our town next over, as well as Universal Studios. So there's many things for students to do here in Southern California while they're studying with us. And to get to these places, we have different transportations available for students, such as like the Sprinter, which stops right on campus, and it goes all the way to Oceanside as well. So students are able to come here, study, and then do their classes, and then even go to the beach to do a little bit more studying if they want to do in a relaxing setting. We do have ride shares, Ubers as well, bikes, and car rentals. And we are very close to walking distance to a grocery store as well as pharmacy, hospital, and health center for students. So some quick facts for our campus. We have roughly around 17,000 students. We have close to 69,000 graduate alumni. I myself am one of those alumni. So I did graduate from Cal State San Marcos. And we are a semester system, so we have fall and spring semesters. We're open for both those, just like MiraCosta. And we do have a modern campus, state-of-the-art technology labs for students to use, and so that they can do their research as well. And we are recognized by the Carnegie Foundation for Community Engagement, and are designated as a research college and university, meaning that we do spend a lot of time for our students to get that hands-on training that they need to succeed outside of their once they graduate with us. And we have been the safest four-year university in California for the past 5 years. So all of our degrees are accredited through our WASC accreditation, but we also have specific accreditation with some different programs, such as our business program, our engineering, public health, speech, language pathology, and social work. So these are all of the bachelor's degrees that we offer. All the bold are the program, but under that, you can see that there is also different concentrations that students can choose just to give a little bit more focus into what they want to study. And also within that, there can be also different tracks that students can also choose. Anything that is highlighted yellow is our STEM programs that students can opt to do, so that they can do, if they want to do additional OPT time, they can do that. And these are the master's degrees that we offer, just to show them. If you have any questions about master's degrees or anything like that, you can reach out to Colleen. You guys can do training more in depth about the master's programs. And then these are the different colleges that we Cal State San Marcos does have. Our CHABS, our business, our COBA, Cash, and RC STEM. Again, these are the ones in the boxes are the our STEM programs that we offer, both master's and bachelor's. Students are able to have the opportunity to do optional practical training, which is after they earn their degree, they're able to do and work for 12 months. Most of our graduating students do choose to do this option to get, again, more hands-on training in the field of what they've studied. And we have staff dedicated to helping the students with that, any questions that they have for the OPT. And then we also have counseling for students, career counseling for students that way they can help them with the job search process as well as job fairs on campus. And then these are some of the companies that students have worked for or are currently working with. One of our top majors that we do have, or one of our most popular majors that we do have, is our business administration program. Again, it is AACSB accredited, meaning that we are in the top 5% of business schools in the world. Good to have on the resume for students, especially competing with jobs, right? Our business administration program is really unique where we do have a senior experience. Students are able to get in groups and work with a local company to resolve anything that the company wants resolved, and then present that to not only the faculty in their class, but also the community. And they're able to showcase themselves in their work to the community to better present themselves for the workforce. So it's another way to network for students. And again, these are the different degree programs or concentrations under that. We also do have a 1-year MBA or a 1-year supply chain analytics option for students after they graduate with their bachelor's. And this is just our professor. It's just a quick video from our professor in Koba.
I've always thought about a small college
Oh,
as part of a large university
can you hear it? The audio? No.
Yes.
Oh, you can. Okay.
Mhm.
system. And so, our classrooms are small. I know
Oh, wait.
they're all working with our faculty directly. And our largest classroom has about 125 seats. But it's one of the safest campuses in California. Everything is brand new. Everything is state of the art. You're, very close to the beach, about 12 miles away, 30 miles south from downtown San Diego. You can be in the mountains in an hour and a half. You can be in Los Angeles in about 2 hours. So you have all of Southern California, and you're right in the middle of it.
Okay, so getting more to the application itself, these are the application deadlines that we do have for our spring and fall. So our spring is the next intake that we do have coming up, and that opens August 1st and ends November 15th. But right after that, our fall opens in October 1st, and the deadline for that is June 1st of the next year. So October 1st of 2025, and it closes June 1st of 2026. And for the admissions criteria, we only solely base it off of our grade point average and your English language score. So students do not have to submit any additional letters of recommendation or statement of purpose, just meeting the GPA requirements and English proficiency. So for freshmen, it's a 2.5, and ACT is not required. And for transfers, it's a 2.0. Those that have college or university coursework. And we do accept lower division transfer students. So if they don't meet the 60 units or so, they can still transfer over. And then these are the English language proficiency requirement scores that we require. So we take all of these exams, or if students do end up going to a U.S. community college or university, if they have an English composition class, that can also satisfy the English language proficiency. If students do not have any of these scores or don't are not quite there meeting the minimum score, we do offer conditional admissions for students as well through our English language program, through our American Language and Cultural Institute to help improve their English skills. The undergraduate application process, these are basically the documents that are going to be needed for an admissions decision. We have the university application, which is through our Cal State Apply online. It is a $70 fee. If students are having trouble filling that out, they can fill out this paper application. It's a PDF application that students can fill out at no cost. And then we do need copies of their transcripts. Copies are okay for admissions. We will need officials later on, but for an admissions decision, they can just submit copies, as well as if they're like an undergraduate student, copy of their graduate certificate. And then the English language proficiency requirement. So the scores for a TOEFL, IELTS, Duolingo, any of those scores or tests. And then we do need the financial affidavit of support as well. That includes a bank statement or bank letter from the student or their sponsor, and then a copy of their passport. And all of these items can be submitted through our link that is on our website, or it's up here on our website as well. All that can be submitted through there.
So just to be clear, Nancy,
Mhm.
if an agent or a student were having trouble with the Cal State online application and they decided to do the paper application, they would also submit that to this
So
csum.edu/global.
that's the csum.edu/global is our website, but on the website is a link um that's specific for students to submit any documents, and that includes, yes, the paper application.
Okay, great.
Just one point real quick here, if I can jump in. Whether you're filling out the online Cal State Apply application or the paper application, there is a spot to list the agent. Your agent can list their information there, but be sure to only fill out one. So if you start filling out the online application, let us know before you send the paper application so we don't duplicate efforts.
Yes, very fair, very fair.
Okay. So these are just our tuition and fees for our students. The tuition and fees for 1 year of study is around 18,000 or so. Um, the cost of living in room and board or living expenses is required for our students because we do have on-campus housing as well. But just to show the proof of funds so that they can receive an admissions decision, and as well as their I-20, they have to show around $43,000 for proof of funds, or a proof of financial support. Students, the estimated cost of room and board is estimated based off of living on campus. It's not living off campus, it's more living on campus. And then living expenses includes also money for books, eating, and living expenses, right? And then we do have part-time on-campus jobs for students. Like Colleen mentioned, we do have international students working with us in our department, as well as different international students working on campus as well, in many different areas of the campus. So they are able to do that for up to 20 hours a week. We do have different scholarships for students available for students. Some of them are the tuition waiver scholarship program that is $1,000 to $4,000 off of their tuition after the first year. We do have the Welcome Here scholarships for incoming freshmen, if they choose to do that, apply for that. And then we have a partnership scholarship, which we'll talk about in the next few slides. So this is just a little bit of a pathway program, kind of like what MiraCosta had shown for our different pathway institutions that we have, or partner institutions that we do offer, like a 2+2 pathway. So first starting off at a US community college or so, doing your first 2 years, then transferring to Cal State San Marcos to do their major coursework, and then earn their degree here with us at Cal State San Marcos. Do you want to jump in, Colleen?
Yes, and so this is a wonderful option for students. As you can see, they save a tremendous amount of money. As we mentioned, MiraCosta College is very close to us, and so it's great. The students know the area; they're very comfortable. At Cal State San Marcos, we have articulation agreements with over 110 community colleges based on our assist.org efforts. But for us, we pride ourselves with our individual partners, which MiraCosta is one of them. We offer that guaranteed admission. It's a seamless practice for our students. As far as the best choice majors, it's such a great fit. Any of our majors, whether it be a STEM major or humanities, wonderful fit with MiraCosta that the students will be able to get their general education completed and their majority of their prerequisites done as well. So as Nancy mentioned, the 2+2 transfer pathway, as you see here, starting and getting that general education done however can be done. We have a graduation initiative here within the CSU. We want our students to graduate within the 120 units. We want those 4 years. So however we can help aid the students, whether it be going straight to a community college or coming straight to us, we are here for them. And the 2+2 pathway is a wonderful option. We admit our students, as Nancy mentioned, our transfer students at a 2.0 GPA. But we'd like to really highlight this partnership with MiraCosta. We love MiraCosta College, and we offer a 1-year annual scholarship at $3,960. This is it's a 2-year renewable, but can it go up to 3-year depending on the student's major and their progress at a 3.2. So our wonderful students at MiraCosta are eligible to apply for this wonderful scholarship, and that is from the time of inception when the student arrives on campus. And then, of course, all the other students are eligible for our tuition waiver scholarships that Nancy outlined. Those scholarships can be anywhere from $1,000 to $4,000. Students can receive it multiple times during their academic career here at Cal State San Marcos.
Okay. So just to talk a little bit more about our city, we are fast developing. So we do have different new dining halls coming up on campus being built currently, new also dorms being built currently, as well as different apartments and living areas outside of the university that are being built nearby the university for students and for the community as well. Lots of different restaurants, a farmers market that is a weekly thing that occurs right next to our campus as well. Different areas for students to relax and enjoy as well. And it's a very safe suburban area for students. So we do offer on-campus housing for students. We have 3 different options for that, our quad, our UVA, and our North Commons. And I'll show you a little bit more about the options in the next few slides. And then we do have off-campus living, which is homestay with an American family, as well as different apartments for rent around the area for students as well. So for our on-campus housing, we do offer the quad and the UVA. Both of these options are apartment style like, so they're fully furnished, have a living room as well as a kitchen, a full kitchen for students so that they don't have to pay for a meal plan if they don't want to. And they are both resort style like, so they both have the pools and the lounge and the game rooms and study rooms for students to enjoy. Our North Commons is more like our traditional dorm style like for students, but it does include a restroom or a bathroom in the room for the student to have easy access to. But we also have the rest of the amenities that the students have in the apartments for our North Commons as well. And we do have a dining hall right next door to our North Commons and another one being built on the way opening in, I believe, next year. These are just some of the layouts of what that our on-campus housing looked like. So the first two apartment style like, and the next North Clements more traditional dorm style like. And students can choose to live off campus or on campus if they wish. And then for off campus, sorry, we have homestay available as well, which is a month-to-month rent. No leases required, and meals are included, and it's usually close proximity to campus. And then different apartments nearby for students to also live if they choose to live off campus as well. For our dining options, like I said, we do have a dining hall, but we also are building a new dining hall for students. There's the restaurants and cafes on campus, as well as nearby campus. We do have a Cougar Pantry for free groceries for students as well, and our crash markets that also offer students meals and snacks that they can go to. And again, local restaurants and local stores nearby and meal plans available for students. Whether they live on campus or off campus, meal plans are available for all our students. And then we do have intramural sports and sports for our students. We are NCAA Division II. And then we also have all these different intramural sports students can join. As far as resources, we have an abundant amount of resources for students so that they are academically successful here with us. Our library offers different study rooms, different writing labs or different computer labs, different book resources, as well as renting technology if they need to rent or loan laptops, iPads, cameras, anything that they need to be successful in their courses. As well as we have different support for our writing center, labs, STEM center, as well as technology help and academic advisors as well. And we do also have a career center where, again, students are able to get help with their resume or counsel support, as well as different information sessions to be successful in if they are planning to do a graduate school or if they need help with the one-on-one interview as well. They're able to get that from the Career Center, as well as Cougar Closet. They're able to get free professional attire for interview as well. So students are able to have that. We do have different health resources for students on campus. Our student health and counseling is really close by for students to be able to go to if they need any help. We do have different options for different fitnesses as well. Our gyms and our rec center offer different activities for students to do on campus. And then our rec center also offers students to do different activities off of campus, like different field trips nearby, as well as exploring the US. And as far as student life, Letty mentioned that we do have an international fair that students attend to. That's a big one that we do have annually, but within the semesters, we do have monthly international coffee hours that students can do. That way they can mingle and talk to different international students as well as local students, get to know the area and get to make friends. We have different clubs and organizations, over 160 clubs and organizations that students can join. And if there isn't one that if there isn't one that piques their interest, they can also make their own club and org. Different centers that students can get more resources with our cultural center, learning center, different centers that they can hang out and study at as well. Again, different adventures that they can do outdoors, indoors, and different festivals that we have on campus as well for students to get some fun while they're studying as well. Again, these are all the resources that we kind of talked about. There's so many resources that I cannot list. But if you have any questions, concerns, I do recommend visiting our website. Again, you can also let us know in the chat or if they can unmute, ask your questions. We're happy to answer any questions you might have.
I just have a quick question, Nancy. So
Yes.
thinking about the conditional admit process
Yes.
for like the 2+2 with MiraCosta. The student makes that notation in their MiraCosta application, they're admitted, and the condition is just that they need to maintain that 2.0 at MiraCosta, correct? They're not being conditionally admitted to CSU SM based off of their essentially secondary GPA and their English proficiency, correct?
Do you
So
want to take this one, Colleen,
yeah,
or?
okay.
Okay.
So the conditional admission. So the conditional admission letter is 100% guaranteeing that the student will be eligible and receive an admission offer from MiraCosta, transferring from MiraCosta to Cal State San Marcos. We will not be looking at previous coursework for, the freshman admission. We will be looking at their performance at MiraCosta.
Perfect.
If they are a transfer student and they have transfer credit, oh boy, we'd love to give them the credit for that. And we'll join that in, of course, to their academic record. We can also provide a certificate, and I believe I've shared that with Letty already and Renee, a certificate guaranteeing just this. And so the student will have that in their hands if they're conditionally admitted to Cal State San Marcos. Even before they leave home, they'll have that certificate of a guaranteed letter to Cal State San Marcos upon finishing and maintaining the 2.0 at MiraCosta.
Perfect. Awesome. And then a couple questions that have come into the chat. Do you all accept home-based tests or home edition tests when those are offered? And this goes both to MiraCosta on your side as well as to CSU San Marcos.
MiraCosta can go first.
So for home base, no, we do not have that as one of the tests that we accept.
Okay, perfect.
Okay, same thing for Cal State San Marcos. We'd like you to know that there's so many mechanisms here for us for students to test. That Duolingo is given, within just a couple days they can have it. Also, our American Language and Culture Institute, which we touched on just briefly, will give and grant conditional admission. We can also test through ALCI, so for the TOEFL waiver. So we have many mechanisms for the students to clear. And so basically for a student applying to Cal State San Marcos, we do admit at about a 98 percentile for our freshmen. So as long as the GPA meets the criteria, we have a mechanism with the conditional admission language program that they will be coming regardless, as long as they meet the GPA.
Awesome. Thank you. And then I know this was in the chat, and I know, Letty, you already responded to it, but just to bring it out for everyone, the question is, are there dedicated transfer advisors for international students aiming to transfer? And Letty, I know that you said in there, yes, there are counselors who are dedicated to that.
There, well, sorry, I just want to also mention that our director of the transfer center was the international academic counselor for over 10 years in our office. And so she's very, very familiar with those details. And she was an international student, so it helps.
Right. And we too are, for us in our global programs and services, we have Danielle McMartin and Yvette who are absolutely fantastic. They are fill the shoes of issuing our I-20s as well as helping the students OPT, as well as their transfer admission credit and getting them transferred into the university. Once a student's here at Cal State San Marcos, then they go on to their general education career advising, as well as they will be assigned a faculty mentor within their major once they reach those last 2 years of study.
Perfect. And then another question came up of a minimum GPA at MiraCosta, and I think based off of what you shared, Renee, the answer to that would be no, correct?
That is correct. So we do not require a minimum GPA. We don't look at GPA at all for admissions. And then to answer the transcript evaluation question, we do not require students to get their transcripts evaluated. We request that the student will meet with one of our academic counselors first. If the counselor recommends that they should do an evaluation of their transcripts, then we'll recommend it to the student, but it's not required when applying.
Perfect. Any other question?
There was a question, do you send academic reports to parents or agents? That would be no, because of FERPA. They have privacy rights for their educational records.
Oh, yeah. Thank I'm like still looking for that one in there, Letty. Um, and then I think this last question here about English language test waivers, um, a little bit. I think for you offer quite a few ways to meet this criteria, and if the student has, I think, completed some coursework in English before, then they might be able to get a waiver. But I don't think you mentioned anything about mode of instruction as English would be a waiver. Do you all have something like that?
We do here at Cal State San Marcos. We do for particular countries, and so I don't know about MiraCosta. There are some countries that we will waive.
Okay.
Yes, so some countries we will waive, yeah.
Okay.
Board of instruction, meaning like if they were like at an IB school or something, or like an international school, like
Yeah, so we are seeing more and more schools are teaching their programs, whether it's secondary education or their post-secondary education programs in English, and they'll provide a mode of instruction letter confirming this program was taught in English, the student completed the program entirely in English, and some of our partners are starting to accept what they call mode of instruction waivers in lieu of the English proficiency exams, but not necessarily all by any means.
For us, it's the IB, the AS levels, the A levels. There's so many additional that's not on our website that we are obtaining. Any high school that's listed as an international high school, all of course, that will all be waived.
Perfect. All right, so I know we're over time. For some of us, it's late. For some of it's very early. For some of us, it's just kind of like the beginning of our day, that sort of thing. So I just want to thank Letty and Renee, Colleen, and Nancy so much for giving us a bit of your time. I've recorded this session. I will share the recording with everyone. And MiraCosta and CSU San Marcos, I just ask if you can share these slide decks with us. We kind of keep them in our learning management system and in our archives, but then I can also pull a lot of the links that you all shared to get them back to our team as we continue to promote your universities within our networks.
thank you so much.
No,
Thank you. Thank
yeah,
you.
thank you,
To all the note
everyone.
takers, yay.
Bye-bye.
Yes, thank you, everyone.
Thank
Have
you.
a
Bye.
great day, great evening, wherever you are. Talk
Bye-bye.
soon.